Hi everyone, it's from Runnable. I've literally just this weekend run a Parkrun again in the Hoka Cielo 2.0, X1 2.0. Great shoe. For those that don't know anything about this shoe, very quickly, it's 215 grams in my UK size 9.5. I went up half a size because the toe box is quite narrow. I've got wide feet, I've got quite fat toes as well, so I need a bit more volume. It's got a lovely Jacquard mesh upper, decent outsole with grip. The grip is actually better than the Cielo X1. If you've got that version, this is actually grippier. It's got decent coverage. Has a huge cutout though, deep cutout in the heel. For those that are heel strikers, you might get a bit of splaying there. The foam is soft. It's not soft as the Endorphin Elite 2 or the Adidas Pro 4. So you might be okay. I guess it depends on what force you're going down with on your heel. But I don't think this is the best shoe for heel strikers. You've got this cutout on the medial side. So those of you that kind of land here but pronate, you're going to have all sorts of stability issues with that cutout. Stack out is a bit misleading. You've got 39 here, 7mm in the heel, 7mm drop, so 32 in the forefoot. But you've got a huge wedge of foam in the midfoot. Not quite as high as you can see there because it has got some side walls to give you a bit of stability. But even so, the drop is misleading. So I wouldn't necessarily worry too much about the 7mm drop height. What I would say is if you're landing in the midfoot, you're going to get the benefit of the nice bump and roll forward. And it's a bit like you're on a pogo stick. It feels really weird, but surprisingly effective. If you land the right side of that bump, you get thrown forward. If you land the other side of that bump, it's a bit of a struggle to transition over the bump into the midfoot and forefoot. So those of you that, again, that are heel strikers, probably not the best shoe for you. I land here, I get a really nice rockered ride, this dual density Peba foam, which is really, you get the softer blue bit here and then slightly firmer white Peba foam here. It's both Peba foam, but really bouncy, really propulsive, massive energy return in this shoe. I've got my 5K PB of 16:43 in this shoe, and my closest to that time was in the Adidas Pro 4 in 17:04. So huge PB in this shoe. It really works for my mechanics, my running mechanics, where I land here, roll through, toe off. It's not, you don't need too much toe action here because of the rocker, and you get a really nice energy return and bounce. So you don't need, for those of you with like toe mobility issues, you don't really need to use your toes that much. But those of you that like a rockered ride, you're going to absolutely love this shoe. So that's all I wanted to say on the shoe, to give you a little bit of a lowdown. But what I want you to do is watch the run footage. I've got some run footage of me running. I took it a bit easy. I wasn't particularly well during the race, and also it's a week before the London Marathon. So it was never going to be absolutely all guns blazing, but still this shoe did me proud. So watch the run footage and you'll get an idea of what it felt like to run in this shoe. And the Oak Hill Park Run, which is fabulous park run in North London, really nice, 3 laps of a relatively flat course. Some would say it's undulating, I'd say it's relatively flat. I look at it more positively. There's a few upward bits, but nothing horrendous. The only downside with the Parkrun is the path's a bit narrow in places, and so towards the end, if you're one of the faster runners, it's difficult to overtake. You just have to use your common sense, and now and again, just let people know you're coming. Lots of people wear headphones, so it's tricky. It can be a bit tricky, but it's a Parkrun in the end of the day. You have to respect everybody, marshals, fellow runners. Just enjoy yourself, go out there, enjoy yourself. And in Oak Hill Park Run, you can definitely do that. So lowdown of the shoe, now the lowdown of the park run, and yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really now, unfortunately I'm ill, but I'm really looking forward to London. I'm just going to get over this illness one way or another this week, and I'll be right on the diet basically, or in the morning, actually, not the night, Ed. You'll miss the run if you're not careful. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hi, it's Ed from Runnable. Yeah, Oak Hill Park. I'm ready for my final kind of fast-paced run before the marathon. Well, I think I'm ready. As you know, if you've been watching the channel, I've not been that well. I'm still bunged up, but as per my last video about paranoia, I'm not going to let it get to me today. So, not putting much pressure on myself. Just want to have a good run there. Would like to try and dip below 18 if I can, just so that it's good speed work, but I'm not sure, I'm not convinced I'll be able to do that, but we'll see. But I'm just going to give it my best shot today, but nothing stupid, Ed. Don't do anything stupid now. You've got a marathon a week away, so nice weather in North London, so it should be a good one. And it's bank holiday weekend, so on bank holiday weekends you get a lot of people that don't normally run this parkrun, i.e. they've come back to visit their parents or wherever, who live in this area, so sometimes you get some really quick runners, so we'll see some different runners, so it makes it a bit interesting. And in terms of shoes, which I know you'll want to know what shoes I've got on, they're going to be the shoes I'm currently thinking will be my marathon shoe, the Hoka Cielo X1 2.0. They're current favourites. Unless something happens dramatically in this week, I think I will be running London in these. And I want to just continue to get used to them. As those that have tried these shoes know, they're not the easiest to get used to, but once you do, they're pretty effective, right? Got my PB, 5k PB in these now at 16:43.5 maybe. So yeah, so that's it. So I'll show you some run footage. That's a good thing about not really going for it, racing it today. I can do some run footage and hopefully hold the camera still for once. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Have some race footage and we'll talk through how I got on in the shoes and how in general I'm getting on with marathon training. See you later. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. Well done, mate. Yeah. Where am I looking? In the buckets. First one. Sorry. Oh. Well done, Toby. Oh, thank you. A bit of paper. Right, I've got a. I'm old school as well.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Something nice about physical stuff like books and stuff, right?
Yeah. First one.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Good. Well done, mate. Well done. It's windy, wasn't it? Yeah. Hey, well done, fella. Okay, all done. Yeah, that was a bit of a struggle, I have to be honest. I was struggling to breathe through my nose quite a bit in that run, but did all right. I think I broke the 18-minute mark, came third overall. Guy who won it, Owen, is a really good local runner, so there's definitely no shame losing to that guy. He's a fantastic runner. There was another guy who came second who I did at one point think, right, let's try and close the gap on him. I had a nice chat to him at the end. He's also called Ed, but I just let him go in the end. I just thought, right, I'm not feeling great, and I'm not feeling like I want to risk anything here, and I don't want to make whatever I've got worse. So I did the right thing. You did the right thing, Ed. So yeah, I'm pretty delighted. I got out of the bed and actually did the run because I wasn't feeling it, and that just goes to show, again, like, you can convince yourself not to do something, and actually it's often better just to get out there and do it and be brave, right? That's what I was today. No injuries, glutes a little bit stiff, but nothing nothing out of the ordinary, to be honest. It's the same it's been for a while now. So yeah, so I got through my last, what I would say, proper workout before the marathon, and yeah, it's unscathed and right. Now I just need to concentrate on eating the right things, having lots of fruit, getting rid of this cold or whatever it is, hay fever, and being ready as much as I can for that day, which I'm confident I will be. You know, I'll get through this somehow. It's been a pain last week or so. There's been a lot of mental stress, thinking I'm going to get really ill, but now I'm just thinking, well, whatever will be, Ed. There's a nice poem, actually, if I can find it, I'll put it at the end of this, and it's about your brain and your heart. It's a bit abstract, this, you know, fall out, and it's about spending time with your lungs. And basically what that means is it's a little bit about living in the present, right? It's about living in the present and not worrying so much about things that have happened in the past and things that you're worried about in the future. And I think, as a general rule for running and life, live in the present. Spend some time with your lungs that keep you going, keep you breathing, because that's where you want to be. You don't want to be wallowing in things that you've done wrong in the past, and you don't want to be panicking about things that are coming up in the future, including marathons, right, and half marathons and 10Ks and whatever else. So there, I'm morphing back into my Moranoia video, which I don't want to do, but I'll include the poem. I think you class it as a poem in the outro. I think it's quite nice, actually. I think you might get some value from it. Anyway, I'll see you later. Outsole Park result, really nice park run, by the way. If you get a chance to come up here and do it, say hello if you see me. I might have my camera, and we'll have a nice chat. I'll see you later. Bye bye.